Hello, my name is Sam Chegini and you're watching SamChats. This episode is brought to you by Word Nexus.
Word Nexus, a global token for world-class transformation. Revolutionizing urban finance. Welcome to World Nexus. More than $1 trillion investment, largest urban revitalization in the world. A scalable model for cities worldwide. 10,000 plus new jobs, smart districts, global investment hub. This is your opportunity. Invest today. Join the future. Invest, transform, thrive.
World Nexus, a global token for urban transformation. The future is in your hands.
Anastasia, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for doing this interview.
Hi, Sam. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. So, how are you doing? I know that LA, you're based in LA. It's partly cloudy here, Anastasia. How's the weather there?
The weather is pretty gloomy and pretty poetic because it's June now, and they call it June's gloom season, and we're experiencing the full force of it. It's really beautiful.
Absolutely. Anastasia is a filmmaker, music video director, editor, and I know that you paint a lot. I love what I've seen. So aside from being a filmmaker and painting, what do you do more? Like, do you play music too? Do you have a musical background?
Thank you for noticing some of my things, Sam. Thank you. I don't play music, but I'm a music lover, and this is what brought me into the music video direction area, where I find my self-expression. But I do love art in all its forms, and I feel like if the film industry would be shut down tomorrow and we'll never see again any music videos, movies, or etc., I will be doing just fine. I don't know. Tomorrow I can start pottery or making clothing or tarot readings or turning trash into something beautiful. There is like this medium that I have chosen. It's just one of the things that make me happy, turning nothing into something.
Just creating in general, being able to create. That's beautiful to hear. So tell us about a bit more about that. Tell us about your interest in becoming a filmmaker. So where did it all begin for you entering to this wonderful, magical world of filmmaking?
I started as an architect and interior designer. I have a degree in interior design, and after graduation in Russia, in St. Petersburg, I decided to visit China to visit some of my friends who resided at that time there. And I fell in love with the place, and I felt like it would be so wonderful to live there and to stay there, not understanding any single word, having this white noise, and letting myself to find my path and my own language. And I worked as an interior designer in China, and then I quit. And because I didn't feel the full satisfaction and fulfillment from the job I was doing, it was 500 designers, and I was in charge only of the first stage of the concept design and the design process. And when I would see the final result, it was never satisfying. Seeing how much the idea and the concept has changed, I quit, and I started a production company in Hong Kong. And at that time, I didn't know how to film, how to do anything related to this industry, but I had a very strong belief system, and I convinced people to hire me to do commercial work for startups. There is like a mini Silicon Valley in Shenzhen, cross the border from Hong Kong. And I made lots of Kickstarter and Indiegogo videos and trained myself doing every single part of production. Then directed a theater play, made a movie in China, and came to the US thinking, okay, this is my new chapter in life. And I was always strongly connected with music. And that was a really good exercise for me, is to start from this short form in the area that I really enjoy. And this is how it all began. I did the work for free first for all the unknown artists in LA City, or some of them. And this is how I built my portfolio before I found an agent and my career moved.
I knew about you being in China, living in China for a while. I didn't know you did quite a lot there while you were there, and I can almost also see that in your works. It kind of, it has influenced you being in that atmosphere. You have quite, you actually use that knowledge and your experience in your works, which is so fascinating. So you talked about the music videos. What's so special about music videos for you?
I feel like music videos is a very cool area for experimenting and implementing new things. The idea you have today could become real tomorrow in the music video. You can see if it works or it doesn't, and the turnaround is super fast, and you can grow really fast doing this short form and working with creative people on the band's music side or in my crew. I feel like it's all becoming a family, and increase the amplitude of the creative output. I think this is why. And of course, the music is like I go around the lake in the morning, I listen to the music. I meditate, I listen to the music. I try to come up with an idea, I listen to the music. And this is like music is something that fine-tunes my life experience and alternates it and helps me create. This is why music videos.
So what is the difference between these two words? Like, how can you, if you want to define the two between the short and the music video, how do you separate the two? Like, can you put music videos into short category, or are they two completely different things for you?
I think it depends how you approach it and what kind of director you are, because some people approach it as just vignettes, like paintings that change each other, and you have 5 of them in one music video, and that is a music video. I'm more of a storyteller, and this is why I feel like my work is more closely related to a short form of film rather than just filmed vignettes. And I find my happy place in being able to tell stories in this kind of form, and also attach it to an emotion related to the music, to the song that I'm doing it for.
How do you approach an artist in your early days? I want to look back to those days that you actually made low budget music videos for yourself, or short projects, personal short projects for yourself. So how did you approach the audience or the artist? How did you present your work in the early days?
Mm-hmm. In the early days when I just started, I was doing a lot of photography, and this is how I would reach out to people that I would find interesting and I would love to collaborate with. I would reach out on social media, I would shoot them online, we would have a talk, I would maybe take pictures of them, do a photo shoot. If they're a musician, we would have a further conversation. This is how I met Lindsay Kay, one of the first music videos I've done, and she was in need of a music video for her upcoming album, and we started our collaboration then. And another person who gave me a great place for self-expression and the perfect place for collaboration was Sean Ross, and I did also all the music videos for his previous EP/album, and that was my first intro. Basically, people were ready to experiment. They were in a place where they didn't have their own creator at that time, and I think it just a perfect time and place where we all synchronized and synergized and did our great work.
Are there any sort of like limitations when you are working with big labels and artists behind a production? I mean, you've got producers, artists, representatives, label people, and all of that stuff. Do you kind of feel more free as a freelancer with a low budget compared to when you're working with a major label or artist with all these high-end, equipment? And just share about that whole experience and tell us how you deal with that when there's a major production.
This is a great question, and I think a lot of creators are wondering about that. And I would say that my approach and my core values didn't change. When I started doing the independent production, when I just started and was doing everything myself, I would approach the project the same way as I do now. I would listen to the song. I would tap into the artist's soul first, kind of to dig into the deepest core values or aspirations they have, and I would marry it with the visions that come up through me, and I would write it all down on paper. And the same thing I do now. Now we just have 20 people on the Zoom call when we discuss it, and when the video is greenlit. And before, I had just an artist and me sitting in the living room thinking how we can all make it happen, and me thinking to myself, oh my God, this is all too crazy. How are we gonna pull it off with no budget? And now I'm thinking, oh my God, how are we gonna pull it off with this budget? Even the budget is way higher, but responsibility is still the same, and the desire to keep the integrity is still there. So the scale is bigger, but the approach is exactly the same. Nothing has changed.
And the vision is the same. Yeah, you as the director, your vision is the same, no matter what production it is and how much the budget is. That's really interesting.
Now I can just can try all the new toys and experiment with new technologies, and the toys became more expensive than before.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The initial impulse is still the same.
So imagine you just received the track and you want to make a video for. What do you do first, Anastasia? Are you more of a visual person? Taking visual notes as you listen to the music, or you prefer to just, write down rough ideas? Is it a combination of both? Tell us a bit about your pre-production steps.
When I receive a track, first of all, I listen to it and I think if I connect with it or not. And if I don't, I'm completely honest and I tell my agent, I'm sorry, this is not the right match. I want them to get somebody who is right for them and who will be fully like having this burning desire to create. And if I have this burning desire to create, I say yes, and we move from that on. And at first, I try not to look at anything, not at images, not at if I don't know who the artist is, but I love the song, I don't look at their photo, I don't look at their previous work, I just try to tap into the energy of the music and what it brings to my imagination. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist saying, I want you to do this, and I say, yes, I will do it. And sometimes I receive a brief from the label or the artist what they would like to see or the direction they would like to take. And I think in this realm, this is my first kind of circle of limitation, but this is a really good circle of limitation that puts me in this hot boiling pot and and I can start cooking something. It's awesome. I love that when I receive like a seed of direction, and then I would go and study everything about the artist, about what they love, and marry what came to my mind before I knew anything about them. My first initial feeling and impulse with what they are and who they are and what they have done before, and how what I will be doing will be intertwined in the narrative of their artistry, what they have been telling before and how it's evolving, and what I can bring special and that was never seen before into what they're doing. This is my approach.
That's lovely. Yeah, it's really interesting that you do not actually look up the artist until you have the idea and have the, creative path for the video, and then you look the artist up and all they've done. So that's really something new I've heard. It's really helpful actually when you do that first, when you just focus on the music and then start to develop the idea based on the actual track and the lyrics. So about the lyrics, do you listen to the lyrics or is it just the music for you first?
I love to hear the words, and sometimes, as you know, it's hard to catch every single word from the song, and I always request the lyrics, so they would send it to me, and I would read, and I would think about the keywords, about the messages, about like the whole essay that is the song, and I would definitely implement it into what I'm doing.
That is kind of your first script, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, beautiful. So define the connection between the artist and the director in a music video. Like you've heard the lyric, you've listened to the song, you've read the lyrics. In a music video production, how close should the director be to the artist's vision and the mindset and personality before working on a video? Like, how much does it actually matter for the director to kind of connect with the artist before making the video for them? How much does the artist actually influence the final cut?
I listen to the artist a lot, and not from the perspective that I put every single word that they say into what I do, but I'm this visual translator. I'm catching ideas or feelings that they have. Sometimes they don't know how to put those ideas into images. They just have feelings, or they like certain references. And I'm translating that with the new vocabulary of the project that we are doing into this new digested vision, and put it and implement it in what we are doing. And I listen a lot. I feel like it's very important to listen, because in the end of the day, the thing that I'm doing is art, but also it's a thing for somebody. And I can never forget about this, that it is designed for them, for their art to be seen, to be heard, to be successful.
Yeah.
So this is why I work really closely with the artist.
Exactly. It matters. The connection really
matters a lot. Yeah. Yes.
Cut you off with the dullest knife. When I wake up, I'll say goodbye. When I wake up, the dream will die. I'd rather go be hungry than keep the lies that feed me. Got sick from a reality, pretending to be happy. Someday I'll be stronger
2024, not only we see music videos continue to inspire people and the audiences still expect to see a video for their favorite track. I myself, when I love the music, I wait for the music video to come. But it's also evolving as we move forward with these new technologies and, AI around, the hype around AI and all the new technologies. But how do you see this change in the music video production? Like being one of the few directors that I know who have experience working with a full, virtual reality set for music video production, which is so fascinating. Do you see that as a new beginning for music videos productions in general, with all these, advanced technologies inside? And how much does it influence the production of a music video?
I think that the music video industry is in a very peculiar and weird place right now, where it's all going to streaming, where TikTok is a new YouTube, where the short form is dominating the longer form that is a music video. And I feel not so many artists can actually afford a high quality music video that will require a lot of production in it. It's something that becomes not feasible for many artists. This, of course, affects the budgets that we are receiving right now. And if in the 90s it was millions of dollars, that unfortunately I wasn't part of this era of music video industry. And now the budgets are like, the classic is 50K or 40K or less, and then you have to figure out what you do and how you do that. But still, the demand for high quality is still there. And I feel I last year pushed through the medium budgets and implemented the new technology. It was really hard. I would say that financially it was irresponsible of me to do that, but creatively it was very fulfilling. And I knew that if I wouldn't invest this way in myself, I will regret as a human being, as a creator, and there will be a new door opening if I will push through this and suffer, quote unquote, in the process of creating the things I think that are true to myself. Yeah. So new technology is cool. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of AI. I'm not afraid of anything that is VR, XR related. And I feel like it's all great tools in the right hands, and we can move into new era of doing something new. And it's like the airplanes, people were afraid of them, or photography didn't disappear when movie appeared, right? It just evolved. And we have both ways of creation, but it's a very interesting place. I think the industry is the place of scarcity for new. Everything is in chaos and mess in some ways, because people don't know what's gonna be awaiting them at the next intersection of 2024 and 2025, and we'll see. But I'm not scared, and let's play while we can, and then we'll think what to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. You see that it is as actually a potential added to it's a tool. But speaking of AI, what do you think about all these, AI generated music videos? I mean, you can see that AI can actually take the song and then generate a music video for them. How do you see that?
I feel like this is a wild west right now because it's not regulated, because there are no rules about the intellectual property that can be used and cannot be used. Is a very tricky place at the moment. And I feel like the AI is lacking soul, and you can see it, and because you don't feel things. I think it's fascinating from the perspective that artificial intelligence is able and capable of creating moving images, and everyone like, wow, this is magic. But spending a little time with it, you can see that there is no soul at them. Something will change definitely, and it's learning so fast. Looking back in into 2022 when Midjourney just appeared and it was creating like these creatures and everyone like, wow, this is cool. And now it's absolutely photorealistic images. And this is why we have all these questions in front of us, how we're going to regulate it, what's allowed, what's not allowed, where is the line between it being a tool, between it being a thief, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And moving images as well. I mean, realistic, hyper-realistic moving images, like you cannot actually tell the difference. It's crazy. So especially in your recent works, you have had this, virtual reality a lot more. You have experienced that more. So there are these giant screens where you're just a click away from a different atmosphere and a location you want to be in. So how much does it help you as a director to use this technology compared to the old days with just a green screen or the blue screen? I want to know where is the director standing in this production, like when a major part of the video is done in pre-production steps, like in Unreal Engine production with all these, produced ready to shoot sets. I'm describing it a little more for the audience to understand what it is like. So you're just a click away from another atmosphere. So all these pre-produced, ready-to-shoot sets are there for you as a director, and where you can literally move from a sunset in a desert to a rainy environment deep into the woods, or on a cold hill surrounded with all these gray clouds around. It's quite fascinating. Explain a little about your experience working on a set like this, and how did it change your way of direction compared to the old school green screen projects?
Okay. Thank you, Sam, for the question. I think it's a very interesting topic. During COVID times, when Mandalorian was out, I was going through YouTube and I was studying again, and I saw the BTS from how they made Mandalorian. And I saw this new XR situation, and I was fascinated how you can actually trick the eye into thinking that it's all a real landscape. And I realized, oh my God, I can implement my knowledge of 3D space building from architecture and interior design and bring it into cinematography and the storytelling. And I was obsessed with this idea. And my AD at that time, she was telling me, Anastasia, you need like a crazy budget to do this. It's Mandalorian, how you can bring this technology into music video. I said, Anna, if you have a request into the universe, it's going to happen. And it happened.
A lot of things I am above, and there are a lot of things that are above me. Do not come for the people I love, cause then I get scary, then I get uglier. Ain't no problem, and I'm the equation. Presence noted, observation. I'm not new here, reborn creation. Come and find me, sending location. Ain't no problem, and I'm the equation. Presence noted, observation. I'm not new here, reborn creation. Come and find me, sending.
Then we go into 2023 when my XR journey has started, and I partnered. My first project was done on a small stage. Then we moved to a Sony picture stage that was enormous, insane size, Mandalorian size stage for a music video. And the pre-production is very extended for this type of projects. I wouldn't say that it's easier or faster or better. It's, again, a tool that allows you to bring certain environments into one spot. And this is more feasible for some productions where you need to move from a cityscape to a desert to a river in one day without changing the locations. And that actually saves you the money. But on the other side, you need to be so prepared and so buttoned up to convey your vision about those environments to the artists who are building them, your storyboard and frame by frame situation of the music video has to be impeccable, because you're only building what you are shooting. And also when you come on real location, everything has texture, everything has life, everything is already there, and you fall in love with the location. But there you are the creator of the location. So at first you're doing kind of the job of building the universe, and then you placing your characters in this universe, rather than you're finding the piece of the universe that you like and you come in there to make your work. So that was interesting, because it increased our pre-production time a lot, if it's not a general landscape, because for the deserts and for mountain hills, they are really good 3D maps right now that are very photorealistic. You can purchase them, you can alternate them, you can change the settings of the weather and everything, and the sun position. But if you build in a dystopian city, it's basically building a computer game, and you work closely with the concept artist. We worked with Avatar people who did the concept design, and it was an incredible experience. But now I know, okay, you need to increase your pre-production time x3,
Absolutely. Yes.
It's a great tool, not for everything, but for some things it makes your production incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, just being able to actually set the tone for the whole scene in just a matter of seconds, when you feel like you want to see sunset here, you want to see moonlight here, in just a matter of seconds, and or add any environment, any kind of weather to the scene. It's all being able, you're able to do that. So
if you want to move a huge mountain because you feel like it doesn't fit your composition, and you want like a symmetrical shot or whatever shot you want, you move it, you design it the
get
way
rid of that
you
heel
want
for
it.
me.
Change the texture of the rocks, you can do it real time.
Absolutely.
You need really good technicians for the Unreal Engine part on stage, and I would say there are not so many because again, it's a new field, and the stages are new, and also people who work there don't have a lot of experience, but some of them are completely genius, and
Absolutely,
I had the pleasure working with them.
I mean, going through the ending titles of your music videos, it's actually a feature film. It's so, I mean, just seeing that, all those people involved, all those creatives involved, it's very beautiful, and such a wonderful project. Congratulations for this beautiful music video.
I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated, I'll make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the crazy wanna cosign, artificially intelligent way. I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missile of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float. I don't need gravity, I just need growth. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. I could go higher, past the stratosphere, I could catch fire. I could go hard, I don't even need to try. Star blood, I don't ever get tired. Predestined, written in stone. I feel it coming and I feel it in my bones. Heavily protected, never alone. Tapped in, I'm connected to the unknown. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I move, it's in a quick rumble.
Oh, wow. Before we continue, I would like to thank our sponsor for this episode, Word Nexus.
Word Nexus, a global token for world-class transformation. Revolutionizing urban finance. Welcome to World Nexus. More than $1 trillion trillion investment, largest urban revitalization in the world. A scalable model for cities worldwide. 10,000 plus new jobs, smart districts, global investment hub. This is your opportunity. Invest today. Join the future. Invest, transform, thrive.
World Nexus, a global token for urban transformation. The future is in your hands.
When it comes to production of a music video, what are the biggest challenges for a director? Like, yeah, please just name 3. I want to keep it simple, like, or maybe hard for you to answer, but only 3. If you wanted to name 3 biggest challenges for a director, music video
For
director.
me, the biggest challenge is to make my crazy big ideas for the budget that is given. And that is usually the biggest challenge. And sometimes it's a compromise how to keep the idea, but to make it doable for the amount of finances that are provided.
Right.
Yes, that is, I think, the biggest challenge. I feel like the creating idea is easy and always exciting. Bringing the team on board is always exciting. I have so many people I would love to work with that I've never worked yet. And I have my family of people with whom I love working and I will keep working. And that is not challenging at all. Mediating sometimes the feedback and the client and the agent and the commissioner, those things could be tricky and challenging because so many entities are involved, and making everyone happy is sometimes a challenge and psychological work. But I feel like the budget is the thing that comes first to my mind. Yeah.
That's a main challenge, actually. So tell us a little about approaching different genres of music. You said that you need to like the music. So when you want to create a picture for a music video, what should it be? I know you've done like rap, pop, rock. So is it only the rhythm that you rely on when you're imagining the scene? And what do you like most when you listen to the music? What speaks to you most?
I feel like there's always a good song in every genre, and I don't connect with a specific genre. I feel like I can find a good track in every single genre, a great artist who expresses themselves in a genre maybe that I never worked with before, and I'm excited to explore the style, to dig into the references, to understand the roots of the music and where it all comes from, to bring something unusual from absolutely different field that was never been in this genre. This is why I feel like for a director, it's important not to have a style, but to have a good taste. Because this is how you can work in many genres, by having discernment of what is good and what's not, and dressing yourself and your imagination in the new style of work you are doing, and be different and be unexpected every time. I listen to the song, I feel what it could be about, what would be the story, how to make it unexpected, unusual, and marry it with something that a normal human mind would not come up with listening to the song. Kind of like a match of juxtaposed ideas. I think that is my approach to coming up with something.
That's great.
And then sometimes I draw pictures, sometimes I draw little things from the storyboard without having the story, just having images that would come to my mind. Sometimes I write the story quickly. Sometimes the song would remind me of a movie or of a book or of a painting that I would go back to and study, and then based on that I would come up with a story. It's every time it's different. I don't have a specific approach how I would go about every single song. It's all different every time. It's like a recipe that you can change and alternate and make a delicious meal.
It totally depends on the music you're listening. That's so interesting that you do not, taking this from you, like, do not have a specific genre and listen to everything. You can actually find good in all these genres. It's really open mind when you want to make a music video for a track, and then you can experience all these different genres and make music video for them. So it's really interesting to hear from you. So in your music video for Dove Cameron's Sand, we can see the visualization with the nature-related elements in the scene. Nature is kind of present in all your works you do. Tell us a bit about your approach for the visual magic you use and the nature. Like, I've seen like pretty dark landscapes, fires, sparkles. The sparkle can be on a piano or in someone's mouth or in someone's eyes. People gathering around in an energy, around this energy circle. The human are connecting in your works. It's another bold element in your work. Tell us a bit about this connection between the human nature and these magical elements all combined together in your works, making a beautiful imagery synced with the music atmosphere.
Thank you for the question. I always try to marry the natural and supernatural in my work, and this is how I think this is how I approach life. I feel like there is a day-to-day thing, there is nature, and there is magic that moves things forward. Then unexplainable things that curate our lives on the day-to-day basis, and you just need to let them in to experience the full capacity of potential magic that is available to you basically at any given moment. And the light and the darkness are always there. The yin and yang of life is always there. The group thinking, group energy, as well as the individualism is always there. And the ability to express this kind of shamanic nature of a human soul and give it like this twist of adding the supernatural into realism. I love that. I live for that. I enjoy that. And this is why maybe you can see the landscape, the desolated landscape, the kind of surreal, not very alive places where a human can be found, contemplating or evolving or going through something. And maybe this is now that I'm thinking about it, you just brought me to like a feeling that when I was in China, I felt like this. It was a very crowded place. I was surrounded by people who spoke for a foreign language that I didn't understand. That was a white noise to me. And I felt like I was in this desolated place, going through something and understanding my path, my humanity, what am I here to do, and going through emotions and trauma, so maybe excitement, but feeling being completely alone and finding my tribe and finding my experiences in life. And I feel like this is what I'm implementing and sharing in music videos that I'm filming.
I ignore the signs and I don't know why, 'cause baby I saw the end when we began. You couldn't love the way I can. I tried to bargain with the stars for more than half your heart, but you have more pieces of me than the desert has sand, and I have less pieces of you than I can hold in my hand.
long do you practice before the shoot? I mean, I see that there are dancers dancing, but also there are these specific scenes where you stop the dance, and I see that the artist is miming to the rest of the song for a while, and then the dance begins again. So there are these moments where you think to yourself that, yes, the director has actually spent a good amount of time, thinking about those specific moments. So, and I believe that this is what makes it all, nicely come together, and it looked great in the end. So I really appreciate that sitting in the audience seat. So yeah, how do you practice before the shoot, and how long do you practice, and how do you approach these moments?
Every time we film, it's a different scenario, and it's a different amount of prep time that we have. Sometimes the brilliant artists, they learn the choreography on set with the dancers and everyone. And it's fascinating to see that somebody can just so quickly to pick up what they will be doing on set, and it's amazing. And the Sand music video with Dove Cameron, she was practicing for a few solid days, for many, many hours. She was out of the airport, an airplane from Paris, and she directly came to the studio, like ready to nail the choreography that was already ready. And the choreographer usually prepares the choreo up front with me. We talk extensively about the script, about what everything means, what emotions we are trying to convey, and what movement would accompany those feelings. And they come up with pieces that are designed specifically for the shots that we have, that I already prepared in the storyboard, and they know the angles. And sometimes they also have suggestions. I also trust them to tell me from their perspective what is the best angle for a certain thing, how is the best to show energetically certain movements. And we would the artist would practice. Dove practiced a lot with Josh, and we filmed it many times. Sometimes they would even film with their phones based on the storyboard to see how it would cut together. And yes, every time it's a different process. It depends on how much time we have, and what does artist want actually to do. Do they want to rock it and rock on set and actually be free in their expression, or they want to be super choreographed and super precise with every single movement? And I support them in what they want to do. And also, of course, the project dictates what we need to do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really important, because in a music video, it really depends on the song and the lyrics and the atmosphere of the music. And it's not always like there are dances, there all these kind of dance scenes. It can be fictional, it can be magical, it can be anything really, whatever you want to approach it. So speaking of that, you just mentioned that, for example, the choreography can actually inspire you in a scene. Like, you can actually listen to the designer and, specifically change a scene or add a scene or whatever. That, being free in the scene, just let it be born there in the moment. So, do you like to write a script for your music videos before? Like, how do you approach this? Is it storyboards, or do you write a script for your music videos?
Usually I write an extensive script, a scene by scene, and sometimes I go deeper even in this first stage, and I would write to a time code, because I would see a specific action happening on certain beat or lyrics, and I would write it down very specific to the time code. So everything is pre-designed. There is not so much of improvisation in what I do. Everything is super scripted. Every second is super scripted. But I know that the magic that I fully believe in might happen Your plans are your plans.
Yeah.
You just need to be super prepared. You just need to be super buttoned up. You are leading the whole team to the success of this adventure. And you need to be also open at the same time, because when you see that something magical is happening, that something unforeseen or unexpected is happening, and you see it in the frame, keep rolling, go through it. You can notice something that you never expected to be happening, and being able to accept it and say yes to this in the moment of pressure, in the moment of timeline, a deadline. I think this is another responsibility as a creator has on set or in general in creative life, being able to breathe through it, stop, and pay attention and bring it in, invite it in.
That's beautiful. Let's talk a bit about the post-production steps. Like, I know, being an editor myself, I know that how much it actually helps the direction when you're a director and also an editor. Tell us about the connection between the two, from the pre-production steps all the way to the post-production steps. How does the view of an editor helps the director?
I feel if the director is an editor as well, that is so much more efficient than if it's not that, because you shoot for what you're gonna edit it into, and that helps a lot. It saves a lot of time. And also when you design the storyboard yourself and you are the editor at the end of the day, you know exactly what's going where. And for me, post-production, the assembling part is a meditation, because it's like bringing all the puzzle pieces together. You have all the puzzle pieces already. You put it all on the timeline. It's exactly what you planned for, and sometimes even more, because when you allow the magic to happen on set, you have some extra spices that you can sprinkle on top, extra color palette that you can add to, and be surprised yourself how cool it is. So that I love that part of the production is post-production. But also I feel like with the amount of work that I have now, sometimes I find myself in the situation where I write treatments and I'm in pre-production and I'm post-production. So I would love to find a great editor who would speak the same visual language and be able to understand the pacing and the concepts that I'm doing, and be into the same things, whom I can just give the footage, we would talk, and they would bring it to life, even maybe better than I potentially could do, because I fully believe in trust and in your team members being actually better than you. If a team member a crew member, production member can surprise me with their idea, with the thing they're bringing on board, their creative vision in addition to mine, I am blessed and happy to have this person on set. I'm like, yes, please come in, let's play.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I'm here. Hello. As an editor,
Thank you, Sam.
I would be really proud. Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
I'm the bandage for you when you're bleeding out. Like the trees that supply your oxygen. Whenever your thoughts, they try to doubt. Baby, just remember who I am. Don't let the world ruin it. 'Cause you got one chance. In your hands, the world is yours. When I'm in it, in your hands, you can't let go or you lose your chance. 'Cause after me, you'll never fall in love again. La la la. 'Cause after me, you'll never fall in love again.
Speaking of being on set, I want to hear your experiences about, like, have you ever been scared going on a set, or, kind of not so confident when you felt like you're not ready on set? Or, we have all that had all that moment when something was missing that then the result actually turned out amazing. So any fun stories from behind the scenes you want to share with us?
I would tell that I'm a little bit of an anxious person, and I'm a warrior. I worry a lot. I'm always prepared, but when I just started my career and I started working with artists who are known, who are established, I felt like, who am I? I'm just like a little girl from Russia who came to Hollywood, and I'm allowed to do the creative stuff and I'm being paid for this. Oh my goodness. So I would pedestalize the people with whom I work, my crew, and this is great. I love them. I worship them. And also the artists. And my confidence wasn't as big at that moment. I just felt like I carry the vision, but I didn't feel confident in my body and in talking to people. And every phone call that the label and the music video commissioner would plan, and we would go online, I was like, my heart would be racing, and I needed to perform. I felt like I was at an exam in school and doing the finals or delivering a project in university, something like this. And that situation changed with time, and now I feel fully embodied in the role of a director, of a person who leads and shares the vision, and it flows out of me. I feel like relaxed and like comfortable in my skin to share it, and I feel equal with the artists with whom I work with, because I'm providing for them the thing that they need, and I understand the value of what I'm doing, and I understand the value of them, and I feel like we are part of one organism, that we serve each other, and that shifted my relationship with an artist. And of course, building the confidence from doing just hard work, hard labor from project to project, improved my endurance and my mental state and my nervous system. Definitely I'm like a tougher and more calm and more chill. I know that I just need to do me for it to be successful. I cannot to dial back or shrink myself or to be smaller, to have the fear around what I'm doing, because when you are in that state, the energy that has to go through you won't fully go through you, and you will be not at 100%. So I cannot afford it. But of course, I have the human moments. All of us do,
Yeah. Has music videos helped you to be more prepared for a feature film, for instance? Are you thinking of a feature film?
I'm thinking of a feature film. I'm thinking about long form projects. I feel like I train my muscles with music videos well enough to go into longer form. And this is like a completely different conversation. Because it also requires so much of thought and of dedication and of obsession, being able to go into long form, because the short form, the music video, it's a drug. It's a fast turnaround. It's like explosion of dopamine in your system, because you see yesterday it was an idea, today it's reality, and tomorrow it has like millions of views, and like, yeah, that feels so good. People tell you how good of a job you did, and it's not only about you, it's about the artists themselves, it's about their fan base, but also it feels really good for your work to be seen in that way so fast, and also seeing the ideas coming to life so fast. What you wrote on paper yesterday, tomorrow is like a watchable, great product. And I think for a movie, first of all, you need to have a really heartfelt topic to make something that will take a year or more of your life. And so you will still have this passion and fire for you to go through it and be able to accomplish this mission. It's like to fly to the moon and come back, or to the Mars and come back, or maybe not come back, who knows, and the level of uncertainty and the level of the pressure and the feeling of the void that you're stepping in is way higher. So I have a few topics that and stories that I'm really interested in for a feature form that I prefer not to talk yet about, because it's in the stage of like thinking through it and making sure that everything is aligned, that I'm not lying to myself, I'm telling the truth. And if I will feel like, yes, this is the right answer, and I'm still yes, in a month or two, I'll move my chess pieces forward, and we'll see what comes next.
Beautiful. Who are your favorite directors?
At the moment, I'm really a fan of Yorgos Lanthimos. And I am in love with Lars von Trier. You see, you kind of can see maybe the parallel already right now. It's beautiful and weird and sad and dark. And I love Lars's movies, but it's really hard to rewatch. And I know that for my studies and for everything, I would love to rewatch some films, but they're so heavy and they impacted me so much in the past that I have resentment to rewatching the movies, not because they are bad, but because they are so good and they are so big, larger than life, that it's so hard to experience the experience once again.
Exactly.
And I think I was growing up when I was 14. I vividly remember the experience of sneaking into the movie theater and watching the Bernardo Bertolucci's The Dreamers. Lots of sex, lots of like very vibrant nudity and topics that up to debates for a 14-year-old to watch. And I slowly started to fall in love with the free expression of cinematography, of storytelling. And when I was in university, I was in the first 2 grades, we were going out and partying a lot, and the architectural major cannot stand it. So you before the exams, you would need to stay up for 2-3 weeks in a row doing your drafts and projects and everything. And I would turn the European alternative indie movie channel and watch everything that was there while doing the drafts. And I watched so many films at that time, and it was always after midnight. My parents would be in bed and I would be up till like 6-7 a.m. doing the drafts and watching, being tete-a-tete with the European cinematography, secretly smoking cigarettes into the like open window in the cold Russia. It was hilarious. But this is something that was establishing my love and taste for movies and for the kind of movies that I like.
Absolutely, and this has surely affected your vision today. It's really rich imagery. So can you share any news about any upcoming projects you're working on with us?
Yes, of course.
Lovely.
I was dreaming for a long time to make a project in Mexico, because I felt like the environment there, the architecture, a lot of brutalist architecture that I'm a fan of is there. And I felt like bringing a production there would be a great idea. And recently I had an opportunity to do that.
Oh, wow.
And we made a music video for a collective, a band that's called Kimby Mike They Are New.
Okay.
And also one of the members is an ex-interior designer. So
Oh,
we
what a
fully
connection.
matched, and yes, it was so crazy, like how our approach was similar to each other, how we understood each other, and how
Yeah.
our perception of what is beautiful, what is story, what is good cinematography matched completely, and we made something really magical. And that project will be coming out June 14th.
Yeah.
And will be teased from the beginning of June, from the June 3rd. And so if you follow my work, you can see
Absolutely. Yeah.
what's coming. And I'm going to make another project to Mexico City again. The new upcoming project is for a band, for the American band that will be filmed in Mexico again. The band is not a part of the project, so we can make a short film basically for the song. And I'm really excited about that, because this is one of the treatments that I was trying to make for 2 years in a row, but it was too weird, it was too strange and too like hard to sell. And finally a band decided that it's a perfect match for them. I was on the moon from happiness to hear that. It's like, yes, finally we're making this happen.
I really look forward to watching the videos you mentioned, and talking about the architecture. It reminds me of one of your shorts. It's Shapeshifters. Was it Shapeshifters? Yeah, the architecture has is really bold, and it's so super beautiful, like all these things happening with the liquid falling, and then the dancers on the set. It's such a magical atmosphere. Tell us about that project. I'd love to hear more about it. It surely has something from your architecture background, so love to hear more about it.
Thank you. That project was shot in San Diego by the university. There was a library, the building that has like a very narrow trunk, and then it grows like a tree. That is a library that we used as a background of our whole
So it's an actual building. I thought it's CGI or something like that.
It's real.
So beautiful.
It's real.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, it's real. And it's a fully passion project. So there is a choreographer that I love, whose name is Nadine Olmo. That was our first collaboration. And we went there. She brought 2 really good dancers. They rehearsed a piece. We chosen the Sevdaliz's music song for that, and we filmed it. And it was really cool, because the idea is so simple but so impactful, having this brutalist structures and having this entity liquid that was taken over the whole space, like consciousness. It reminds me of the movie. Now I'm thinking about that again. Sam, you're bringing lots of thoughts in my head today. The movie Solaris, how the liquid was the consciousness that took over and was navigating the whole reality of the characters.
Yeah, it's such a interesting atmosphere, and it was really interesting to hear that it was actually a set, and you have edited that one yourself too, I believe, right? The editing is epic. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I love
it. It was done in the very beginning of my path. It's like one of the first projects that I've done.
I love that editing there. Anastasia, thank you so much for being with us today. I really quite enjoyed our conversation, and it was such a great pleasure talking to you about this magical world of music videos and getting to hear all about your brilliant experiences and taking us through your wonderful career. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Sam, for inviting me. I was having a great pleasure talking to you and answering all your questions and actually contemplating along with you on all the topics, because I'm rarely asked those questions. You know, when you live with it on a day-to-day basis, you don't think much about the introspective part of why you do certain things and what for. And when you are faced questions, you find some answers for yourself.
Thank you. I cannot wait to see more magic from you, and we'll say goodbye to our audience here with your message. If you want to add anything, please do.
I have a message for every creative person who is at the beginning of their path or on their path, or just thinking about going into the creative area of expression. Just do you, don't look at anyone, because what other people are doing is their own channel, and they're doing it hopefully in an authentic way. And by being somebody else, it's really hard to tell and find your personal truth and be happy. So finding your truth, your place of expression, your language of expression, doesn't matter if you are a painter, or if you are an artist of a word, or if you are a photographer, a cinematographer, a creator of any sorts, a filmmaker. Tell the truth. It's scary. It will be always scary to tell what you actually think in any medium. It will be always scary. It never will stop being. That is the place that is able to connect to the hearts of other people. And this is how you will grow your audience. This is how you will be invited to play with other cool people. This is the way to be, I think. I feel like the place of authenticity is the only place that allows people, creative people, to connect with the hearts of the audience. This is the time when you hear a song and it strikes you deeply to the core, and you start crying or remembering stuff just because it was created from this authentic place. And finding your own place of authenticity is the key to connect with others.
It was really lovely talking to you. It's such a huge pleasure to have you on the show, and I wish you all the best, and I very much look forward to following your wonderful work. Thank you so much, and
thank you, Sam.
Cut.
Word Nexus, a global token for world-class transformation. Revolutionizing urban finance. Welcome to World Nexus. More than $1 trillion investment, largest urban revitalization in the world. A scalable model for cities worldwide. 10,000 plus new jobs, smart districts, global investment hub. This is your opportunity. Invest today. Join the future. Invest, transform, thrive.
World Nexus, a global token for urban transformation. The future is in your hands.